hello. How are you all doing? Sorry for being a little late. Um, was working out some, hold on, let me stop this. All right, all right, okay. Eric, good to see you, man. It's been a while.
Good to
Um,
see you too, my friend.
Dr. Pat, good to see you. Jadika and Bart, definitely good to see you guys. So it's good to see everybody again. This is good. This is good. So this is our daily SpeakerHub co-working session where we get together daily to answer questions for anyone who's in the speaking business, whether you're a SpeakerHub user or not. We don't care. We just got to get more positive messages on stage. So welcome everyone here. If you have any questions, be sure to put them in the chat or raise your hand to ask, and we'll just get to going, man. So.
Can you make me co-host?
Oh yeah, I forgot to do that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to remind you. No worries.
Let's see. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're working on something really, really, really cool for you guys for 2025. I think that 2025 is the best year ever to be a thought leader or a speaker or a coach. Over the next 5 years, there will be a $428 billion increase in online education and coaching. That's how much more will be spent, not just how much is being spent currently. Currently, it's about 328 billion that's spent per year, but that's going to go up. So I want to make sure that all of you all can take advantage of that by getting coaching clients, consulting clients, corporate clients, more speaking gigs, whatever you're trying to do within your business. So, yeah, what's up? What y'all want to talk about today? Because I got a lot I can talk about. It's really up to you guys, man. Any questions, Pat, Eric? Eric, what's new with you, man? I saw you had Sylvia out at your spot.
Yeah.
I think Lethea was out there.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of people I know that were out in North Carolina.
Yeah. We've done 2 events since we spoke last, so they've been a blast. Yeah. So
we had really good conversations in Denver. I don't know if what I shared with you helped or hurt, but
absolutely
I just tried to share.
You are a wealth of information, my brother. A wealth of information. You're better than you think you are.
Oh, that's good. That's always good. That means I'm underselling. That's good.
Better than you think
like
you are.
That.
Yeah, I'm just here to learn. I'm just here to learn from you and to find out what the latest and greatest is with your company. You have a great company and you're doing great stuff. So I'm just here to learn.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I got a lot of cool stuff we're going to talk about today. And Dr. Pat, good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. I have on my signature glasses with your initials on them again.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I need my royalties. Give me my royalties.
I know. I'll DM you the source again. It's just Essential Elements here in Chicago. But yeah, so I am just do a quick intro, Dr. Pat E. Perkins. I haven't been on this call with you all before. I run a company called the Advanced System. We work with leaders in corporate and government, helping them get to the next level in their career path and be divinely compensated. So I speak about those types of things, creating your career advancement roadmap. And so I'm looking to get on podcasts that are related to leadership and careers. And I have a pretty big, accelerated goal, possible goal, if you will. If you follow Dr. Ben Hardy, talks about impossible goals. But I want to get on at least 50 podcasts, 40 to 50 in 2025. So that's the goal. And so I'm literally working to set myself up for that and able to offer my lead magnet at the end and go from there. So that's
So your goal is what we call the standard, right? So we believe that every speaker should be doing at least one podcast interview a week. which will put you at 48 if you took a month off, right? If you took because it's 52 weeks in a year, even if you went on 4 weeks worth of vacation, you should still be able to do 48 in a year. And fortunately, we have Jadika here. I don't know if she can respond, but I think Jadika has done 10 of them in November. I mean, how many podcasts have you done in November, Jadika?
I'll be in and out. I've done 10, like you say, so far.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah, so there's enough stages. So she's done 10 in November alone. So and it really just comes down to activity. We've learned that one of my favorite sayings is, don't complain about the results you're not getting from the work you didn't do, which basically is, hey, if you send the pitches, we know that people respond to you. And it's up to us to, it's up to us as people to respond to those who want to talk to us. And what I've learned is the stages that I thought I should have been on weren't the stages that I needed to be on, right? So sometimes we say, well, I don't want to go on this podcast because it's not this big. It is not. You just never know who's listening, right? If Jeff Bezos had a private podcast with 100 people listening to it, and they only knew about it because he told them about it, I would rather be on that than be on Joe Rogan, because these are 100 of Jeff Bezos' best friends, right? So it's context and who we're trying to get in front of. Because the podcast audience is invisible, we have to just trust that if there was a room full of 50 people that were in our target audience, and they said, would you like to hop on Zoom to talk to those 50 people? Would you do it? Heck yeah, we all would do it. But we say, I don't want to go on a podcast unless it got 8,000 downloads. Well, a podcast is just asynchronous Zoom, right? So we have 62,447 users at SpeakerHub. Only 5 of y'all are here. I'm still showing up. I've been here when it was just me and Jadika. I'm committed to getting the message out. I don't care whether we got 5,000 folks or 5. Why? Because I got to get the reps in to get better anyway, right? So if one day 5,000 people do show up, I did the 10,000 reps ahead of time. So, one of the things that we want to do is to make sure that our speakers are on diversified stages, whether it's podcast guesting, local associations, conferences, and press. Meaning we want you on television. We want you writing in magazines, things of that sort, because all things being equal, you're competing against someone else. The person who has those credentials win, right? And when you ask for $10,000 and you got to justify why you want 10 grand to speak or 15 grand to speak, having Forbes or Fortune or Wall Street Journal or some contributor next to your name justifies that a little bit, right? So that's what we really, really, really want to focus on. And in our group called Self-Promoted, there was a quote that I put up because everybody, you all know Tony Robbins, right? So let's see, I think it's school. Tony Robbins, he came out with this book last year, and it was called The Holy Grail of Investing, right? So this was the book. Now, I bought this book when it came out in February. And here's what Tony did. Let's see if I can go to it. 60 days prior to the launch of the book, he did 240 podcast interviews in 60 days, right? So doing 50 in a year, high five. But let's get you up to 250, I mean, you Ben Hardy, you know what? I was with a friend maybe 6 months ago, and I was talking about the book 10X is better than 2X and the gap in the gain. I'm a big Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy fan. And one of my buddies, Andre, said, "Oh, you like Ben? I'll call him right now." What? He's like, "Yeah, I'll call Ben. You can talk to him." And we ended up having this conversation. Basically, it was just me, congratulating him on writing great books. But yeah, so 10x is better than 2x. Just saying. Try to do 500. If you do 500, you will definitely make it on 50, right? So, that would be my encouragement to you. What if you added a zero? Whatever your goal is, what if you added a zero to the end of it? You probably would be surprised at the way you have to think about it differently, right? So, yeah. So, yeah. Dr. Faith, how are you? Nice to meet you. I don't know if she can.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. You want to tell us about what you do?
Sure. Good morning, or afternoon, everybody. Hey, I am an OB-GYN physician, board certified and practicing full time, but I would like to expand beyond the walls of my office and use the power of my words to empower women. I am faith-based, and so things that involve women's empowerment, faith mindsets, and the obvious women's health expertise are some of the things that I am interested in doing at this time.
Okay. Are you actively speaking, or are you what we would call an emerging speaker?
I'm definitely emerging.
Okay.
I've been on some podcasts and I've had very few press positions, again, along the lines of women's health expertise.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's where everybody starts. That's where everybody starts. So, you got to start at one. If you don't get one podcast, you can't get another one. So, but yeah, so as I mentioned, everyone, this is where we come. We answer whatever questions you have. If, it's really question based. So if you all don't ask anything, I'm just going to rant for the next hour, which I don't want to do that. But at SpeakerHub, our goal is to get you on more stages by driving inbound traffic to you and also showing you how you can go get on the stages you want to get on. So even though we have about 8,000 organizers that use SpeakerHub to find speakers for their speaking gigs, the majority of the gigs that are booked are because someone reached out to a gig they wanted to be at. Does that make sense? Because it's easier for a speaker to search through opportunities than it is for the organizer to go through 64,000 speakers, right? So, yeah. Any questions, Dr. Pat? You want to know how I could almost guarantee you would get on 50 podcasts?
Yes, I do. And I want to say this. So, yes,
Okay.
I went into my referrals because I was like, I'm on here. Let me go to referrals and refer some folks to be on, to add to become members, basically, right?
Yep.
And I had 2 unclaimed referrals that came through. So that added to my pitches. I just wanted to say that just as a reminder for everybody.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Okay. All right. Now, please go ahead.
All right. So what would you like my help with? And high five on the unclaimed referrals. Claim them. Claim your 25 points because you get 25 free pitches for those. So that's a really big deal. Anybody suggest SpeakerHub too? You get 25 credits, even if they don't pay. If they just sign up and get a trial, they get 25 credits to try us out, and you get 25 credits for suggesting them, even if it's just on a trial. So that's a positive thing.
So I would definitely appreciate help.
Did we freeze? Okay. Yeah, it froze for a second there, but go ahead.
And narrowing down, like maximizing my pitches and just getting laser focused on.
So let's do it. Share your screen. Let's walk through how I would pitch podcast. And then Eric and Dr. Faith, if you all have any suggestions or questions about how you all could achieve whatever goals you all have. I'm not isolating Jadika and Bart, but they're here every day. So I know what they're working on and they're already busy working on it. So I don't really have to do much with them. But if you want to go ahead and share your screen, Dr. Pat, let's walk through it.
All right. I think this is the one. All right. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. So this, where should I go back here or where should I
Okay.
go?
Right. Yep. So you're perfectly fine. So just so that nobody on the call is confused, PitchDB is the company that we own before SpeakerHub. So before we bought SpeakerHub, we owned PitchDB. A lot of you all are using SpeakerHub Pro, which is PitchDB with a different logo. Same product, just Dr. Pat was with us before we purchased SpeakerHub back in June. So here's the cool thing. I'm going to show you something. Can you tell me, let's click on podcast, right?
Oh, sure.
And the best hack that I found to get booked on podcast is to go on podcasts that your competitors have gone on. So if you know somebody who does government contracting, let's say you don't even know nobody who does government. Is that what you want to do? You do, is that government contracting, right?
So I have B2C and B2B. So the B2B, yes, government contracts, and then corporate contracts as well.
Okay, right. So click on, open up another tab. Do you already know some of your competitors by first name and last name or no?
I just say not really.
Okay, so let's go to LinkedIn. Everybody has LinkedIn. I'm going to show you the LinkedIn hack to get on more podcasts.
Okay.
Yep, just regular old LinkedIn. Don't even need to be
I
special.
can go then from here.
Yep, and then up at the top in the search bar on LinkedIn.
Up here?
In the link, no, the LinkedIn
in
search
here,
bar.
right.
Yep,
Okay,
that one.
okay.
Yep, and type in corporate contract expert.
Expert. Okay.
I guarantee you somebody put that in their name. And then click on people. Yep. Yep. So, and go to the one at the top though.
Go to this one.
That people. Yeah, that's going to bring up more. Now we can go down and we can see how if people are popular with this. So you can see different people have corporate responsibility. That's put that corporate contract in parentheses in the search bar.
Like that?
Yep, quotation marks. Yep.
Okay.
And click back on people. Boom. Right. And let's see. Take the expert out of the out of there. Just put corporate contracts. Yep. Perfect. And go back to people.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Good. So now we get to see all the people who do corporate contracts. And you'll see it's like corporate contract analyst, corporate contract. A lot of these people are going to be, there we go, Jessica Lorimer. Bam.
Yeah. Okay.
See that? Right there. Jessica Lorimer. She got 10,000 followers. That's, you want to go on her stuff. You see that? And then Andre got 4,000. And Christine Miniak got another 4,000. You see that? Click on, go back to PitchDB.
Okay.
And then in the search, type in Jessica Lorimer.
In here?
Yep.
Let me see. What was her?
Lorimer.
Okay.
Yep. And hit enter.
All right.
And then now click on episodes. So she has her own podcast, which is good. Click on episodes. We're going to see all the podcasts she's been on, and we're going to go on them.
Really?
Yep.
Isn't that something? All right.
Look at that. Look at all of these. Now go on these 234 she's been on.
Is that what that's? Okay. Oh, right here, 234. Okay.
Yep. Now those include her podcast also, but it doesn't matter. It's a bunch of other ones. She's been on Entrepreneur on Fire. So it looks like as you keep going, she's been on 8 herself. So if you go back up, those ones that are not her logos, add them to your list. Those are the ones you want to pitch because they already got your audience. They already covered your topic. They already, And now you're just going to come on and talk about the same stuff.
So I would call, so what do we call corporate?
Yeah, I would do corporate competitors
Okay.
and create that list. And don't put podcast because it'll already be organized as podcast. Corporate competitors and hit list. Yep, create list. Yep, and select that one, save. Boom.
All
Now,
right.
go ahead and click pitch. Let me show you.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's go to your email accounts because you need to reconnect your email. It's been a while.
Okay.
Go ahead and click there and hit reconnect. Just click the orange button.
All right.
And okay, so you see where it says connect new account underneath? Click there.
Okay.
And it's going to pop up and ask you to re-enter your password again.
All right.
Now, did you see? While she's okay, she's connected. Go over to mailbox on the left. See mailbox in the left menu at the bottom, and you see there's one waiting. You see where it says waiting? Click there, and then go to continue. It'll start back where we left off. Right. And now the AI is going to write that email for you to reach out to the young lady's podcast, who that one is. There it is, right?
All right.
And then if you scroll down just a little bit more,
okay.
and you can do rewrite with AI and make it longer. And hit rewrite. And then when you give it about 5 more seconds, and it should rewrite there it is.
Okay.
And you can scroll up some more if you go outside a little bit, you see it has 2 scrolls. You just go to now scroll from there.
Okay.
There you go.
All
right. Hey, Jason, hope this finds you well. I'm Pat Perkins.
Yep. Got it.
Right.
Yeah, this is great. This is
Now, a couple of things you need to do. You need to go add a photo.
okay.
So go to your branding kit over on the left, go to branding kit.
Okay. Whew. Right here.
Yep.
I don't even know if I have a photo in there.
And click, yep, it's not in there. It would have been in the signature already. So go ahead and click my brand.
Okay. I appreciate you all. And then
This is what we do all day. This is because they probably need to do it too. So this is why we show it.
Refresher works as well. So
Oh, 100%. As they say, we don't need to be taught as much as we need to be reminded. You know.
okay. I get that completely. Okay.
And hit upload. Boom. Now scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
And then keep going some more. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. Keep going. There's your LinkedIn. There's your website. If you want to put a phone number in the signature, you can put your phone number there. Right. And then go down right underneath there. You see it says legacy default signature. Right under the phone number, there's a section that says legacy default signature.
Yes.
Click there and then put it to default signature. Boom. Already set up for you. And scroll up and hit save.
Scroll up this way. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Boom. So now anytime you write a pitch, that's the signature that's going to automatically show up at the bottom. Right? There it is. Got your LinkedIn, your website, everything is right there.
All right.
You're ready to go.
All right.
Scroll down again. Go back down. Your profile is turned off. So turn on that. All right. So I need to change your plan because you have one with this. I just need to change it so that you can show up in the expert search. We'll fix that.
All right.
And if you want to change the message length and the tone of the message, you can change that here so that all of them will be long or medium. Right now, they're all short, but you can make it medium or long or professional or funny or, persuasive, whichever one. There's a game and there's like 12 different options.
All right. Well, I'll take a look at each one and see what the difference is. Because that way I can play around with this Right.
But you're ready to go. Wait, go back over to mailbox. I want to look at something. And go back to waiting. And go ahead and click continue. And
Generating.
so it's there's your thing. Go ahead and make it look good. Go ahead and put, after Dr. Jason, dear Jason, go ahead and hit enter. So let's make it look better.
Okay.
Yep. And it's actually easier to edit in full view. So if you scroll up just a little bit, you'll see edit in full view.
Like
The other direction, other direction. Yep, there it is, open full view right there. So now it's easier to edit, so you can see how it's going to look in their Gmail. So you may want to separate some of those. Like my work, I would go to like where it says my work and put that one.
Okay. Where it says my work.
Go 2 lines up from the bottom. Under you. Yep, right there. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well,
and then let's wait a minute. In the subject line, put podcast guest.
That would have probably been my next question. Okay.
And then hit that blue button at the bottom and say send.
I'm gonna send it now.
Yeah, send it.
Okay.
Push it. See, there it is. See, we just peer pressured you into sending it. There it is.
And just laughing. First, is it Bart? It's Bart. Bart's y'all all laughing, but
they seen this before. I do this to people every day. Every day. I bully people every day. You said you want to be on 50. You got to send at least 1 pitch to get on 1. So
well, I don't feel bullied, so I actually feel motivated. I feel encouraged. I feel like I feel good. Okay.
So here's the thing. I see you got 68 pitches.
Yeah.
That's about an hour, maybe 2 hours worth of work total, right? If you send those 68 by Friday, I'm gonna look at your account on Friday. If you send them in by Friday, which is 20 a day, I'll give you another 100.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm putting this down. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in my calendar. I'm gonna stop sharing for right now. Are we good?
Yeah, you good. But there you go. You
You
send them 68, I'll give you another 100. Shoot me a text or an email saying, hey, Ron, I sent my 68. I'll verify and I'll give you another 100, which saves you $100 because that's how much it would cost.
Okay.
Yeah, you should log off and get half of them done today.
There it is. He can do them all. If you do, here it is. I'll make it even sweeter. If you send out 68 today, I'll give you 200 free pitches.
Bye.
All right, that's a good challenge. That's a good challenge.
There you go.
But would you drop his however I'm supposed to contact you, Ron?
Yeah. We'll put it in Angie put it in the chat. And you can send it to support@PitchDB or Ron Story Jr. at PitchDB. Yep. But there you go. That's the value of coming to the meetings. We're gonna push you. Don't come over here and talk about what you want to do and don't expect to get help. Because we're gonna drag you in.
That's good.
Eric, what's up?
Okay,
man?
Ron. Now put me in, Coach. You got me excited and inspired. Because I've never actually done anything on your site yet. So here's my question to you. So you know what I do. I don't even think I said it, but I help coaches and speakers generate more sales and even generate speaking engagements, right, through my studio, right? So I help them build their credibility, influence, and authority. Now, it's not a problem, but I don't have competition. Like I can't Google my competition because I don't know anybody that does what I do. So you may not.
So you may not have exact direct competition, but anybody who puts on any type of conference, that's an alternative stage that they could have been on instead of being on yours. Okay. Right? So let me give you a good example. To go onto your platform to get in front of your people pay you for that service, right?
Absolutely.
When I met you at the NSA conference, that stage that I was on, I paid to be on that stage.
Yeah.
Right? So you do got competition. It's just they may not be virtual stages, right? Okay. So if you look at someone like Sean Fair, who's a great friend of mine with Leadership Experience Tour. Yeah. Right? He doesn't do a virtual stage, but he brings 200 people every 3 months to a live stage at Michigan State University.
Yeah.
To do a very similar type of thing with speaker packaging. Why not go on the podcast he's been on?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So
Yeah,
everybody has competition.
Yeah, it's not
They
like
may
they
not
don't,
be-
they don't have exactly what I have, like my studio, but it's an alternative that he's
100%. Yeah. I mean, like you and I, indirectly, we compete. We both do the same thing. We help people to get on more stages, right? We just don't fight over it because there's enough stages out there, right?
Yeah.
But look at someone like Brian Olds. Brian Olds is the head of the Black Speakers Network, right? Go on the podcast he's been on. Why? Because, they talk about speaking, they talking to Black folks, they in America, all of these different things that just come by the name by the name of his organization. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yes.
Go on the ones that the founders of eSpeakers or Speaker Match or Speaker Flow, anybody who has a speaker in their name, find their names in LinkedIn and go on their podcast. Sessionize, the guy Dimitrov over in Europe with Sessionize. You're just trying to find a path that's already been beat.
That makes
A
sense.
lot of times we go with a hatchet trying to hack down trees. I'm just going to walk down the path y'all done already beat.
I like that. Leverage there, what they've done.
Because I mean, guess what? If it's a pitfall on that path, I'll see y'all in it.
and I'll take a detour.
Yeah, I'll see y'all there. They already got caught in the quicksand. I'm gonna walk around it.
Yes.
But if I got to be the first one, the old saying is, pioneers get the arrows while settlers prosper. Right? I'm not trying to be a pioneer. I'm trying to be the settler. Go ahead. You can name the city after you. I'm gonna come after you set the city up though. Yeah. I'm not moving in where there's no toilets, no running water. No, I don't need. My ego ain't tied to it. Right. So go down the path that's already been blazed before you innovate.
Yeah.
And we teach that with everything, right? Before I get a lot of folks that say, I don't want to use the AI, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, have you sent any pitches using our AI? No, but I just know, cool. So you're going to outperform something you don't even know how it performs?
Yeah.
Now, I got a 7-year-old son, and I tell him this all the time. I say, hey, son, if I give you an instruction, you should probably do it. Even if you do it wrong, it's my fault. You see what I mean? If he does it wrong, it's my fault. If he don't do what I suggest, that ain't my fault. And he got to deal with it. So if you're using our AI to send your pitches and it don't work, that's my fault. I'll fix that. I'll give you your money back or whatever. But if you're changing it and saying all this goofy stuff, then we're like, why didn't you use what we asked first before you tried to outperform it? Then we're going to be like, well, dude, who told you to send that? Right? Right? So if you're using the systems that we've already blazed the trail for, last year I sent 500,000 emails to book people on stages. Just follow what we've already done, and then it'll be our fault if it doesn't work. Is that fair?
Absolutely. It's funny you should bring up Tony Robbins because I got the idea for him, right? I went to his event, right? Mm-hmm. So just like you said, I said, hey, it's working for him. I'm sure it can work for me.
100%.
Yeah.
And one of my good friends, his name is Zach, and Zach was the chief revenue officer or the head of growth for mastermind.com. And we working on something to get Zach over.
Yeah, I know Zach. I know Zach. Yeah, I know Zach.
You know Zach Palmer?
Yeah, he works with Anthony Robbins and
Gene Graziosi.
Gene Graziosi, yeah.
So Zach is a really good friend, and he's going to help us with a lot of stuff over at SpeakerHub eventually. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, man. So hopefully to answer your first question, what was you had a few of them? What's the
well, so you were talking to Dr. Pat about, I forgot what it is. You said you'll give her 100 more. Like, what are those? What are we talking?
Yeah. All right. So this is great because Eric doesn't have a SpeakerHub account, so he doesn't know.
Actually, I do, but I haven't done anything with it. It's just
you have a SpeakerHub Pro. Oh, from
not a Pro, just a regular account.
Okay. So let me walk you through what the difference is.
Okay.
All right. So this is good for you, Dr. Faith, also, right? So I'm Ron. I am the Chief Product Officer / owner of SpeakerHub, and Angela is Chief Operations Officer. So if you have a problem with anything not working, it's her fault, not mine. So we go blame Ange for everything. So basically, SpeakerHub consists of two systems. One is inbound and one is outbound. That's used by 62,447 speakers. That number may have gone up since we've been on here, but prior to this call, when I updated it, that was the number. And what we do is we try to make it easier for speakers to get booked on speaking gigs, whether it's podcasts, associations, conferences, or media outlets. Now, the reason why I say we make it easier, because our ideal client was going to speak whether they found us or not. We're not king makers. We make it easier for you to become the king, but we can't crown you the king. We're not an agency. So most of our best clients were going to be successful speakers with or without SpeakerHub, just because they had it in them to go out and do it. They were going to succeed regardless. Our job is to be an amplifier of that person and make it easier for them. And this is our main framework, Dr. Faith, that we use, Eric. And it consists of 6 parts. One is inbound leads. Inbound leads are where people find you. So when I go in here and I type in Eric F. King, and it comes up, here we go. There's Instagram, there's his LinkedIn, there's his YouTube. Looks like I got the right person, because this is consistently showing Eric, right?
Yeah, that's me.
But watch this. I'm going to show you why this is so valuable. When I go in here into SpeakerHub, I'm going to just pick a random person on SpeakerHub. Let's pick Sean Crane. Let's see. Oh, let's do Mac Murray Jr., right? So Mac Murray Jr., right? So we type in Mac Murray Jr., we click on images. These don't look like the same people, right? A lot of different faces, but it could be this dude. But you know how I know if I'm looking for a speaker and it's this dude? Because what's the first photo from? You see that? It's from SpeakerHub.
Yes.
Yeah. So the speakers that are in SpeakerHub, when we search for them, we're probably going to be the first or the second photo or the first or second link every time. This is what we call inbound lead generation. So you notice when I just type in his name, the SpeakerHub profile is down here. But most people who are looking for a speaker, they're going to put speaker behind it, right? So now they're going to find his Instagram, his Facebook, his SpeakerHub page, and his LinkedIn is here, right? So this is what we call inbound leads. We want to make sure that when somebody's searching for you, they find you. They don't find Eric King Jr. or Eric King III. They should find Eric F. King, the speaker. Is that fair?
Yeah, and how long does it take for mine to actually pop up like that? Like, you know, how his...
Once you turn it on, Google crawls us every day. So usually within a week, you're going to pop up and be itemized. Google consistently crawls us because we're a pretty highly ranked site. We have 4.4 million backlinks, meaning 4.4 million people have backlinked back to our site, right?
Okay.
We get about 40,000 unique visitors every day looking for speakers on our site, right? Now, so that's the inbound side. The outbound side is what you saw Dr. Pat using. That's what we call SpeakerHub Pro. That's you can look through 3.5 million podcasts, 200,000 associations, 170,000 media outlets, and 45,000 conferences to pitch yourself to be a speaker. So I'm going to use Dr. Faith as an example here, right? So Dr. Faith, you got a couple minutes? Can you unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect. So I'm going to put your name in here as Dr. Faith, right?
Ahuba.
And yep, and what's the name of your company?
Emerge, EMERJ Coaching and Consulting LLC.
Like that?
Yep. Coaching and Consulting LLC.
And where are you located?
Houston, Texas.
Right. And speaker, coach, doctor? Well, how do you
All of the
refer to yourself?
above.
Okay. All right. And you help whom to do what?
I help do a lot of stuff. That's the issue. And that was actually my next question for you.
Right. So here, let me show you an easy way to do this. Right. Did I spell your name right? Are you on LinkedIn?
I am. My first name is Asahe. So that was actually another question we talked about looking for people, if I should go by my full name or just Dr. Faith. So first name is Esohe. For consistency's sake, should I drop the first name or leave the first name on? That was one of the questions I actually had.
I mean, I think your last name is easy to. It's already unique enough, the last name, so that you won't be confused. I think people can spell Faith pretty easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's really up to you and how you want to describe yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just trying to see what are some of the different things that
So,
I could.
Yeah, so I work literally full time. And so just getting back into the social media game is pretty new for me.
Okay.
So things
but
that
that's
I
fine.
do.
Let's
Okay.
just talk about who you help. So you
So
help
I help
women,
women.
just for the sake of this. I help women to.
I help women to improve holistic living and clarify their purpose.
So that they can do what?
So that they can live a life that's authentic to them.
Right. So, and I'm going to put your profile in there. So when you first sign up with SpeakerHub Pro, this is what you would just basically put in this basic information here.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your website?
I am drfaithmd.com.
Perfect.
It's to come, so it's not much.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But Dr. Faith is a great, simple way, right? And you could just go by that, just as Dr. Faith, no different than Dr. Oz, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me Dr. Oz's first name.
I don't know.
Exactly. Don't matter. We know who he is. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So let me go back here. Let me save this. I didn't mean to stop to share. So I'm going to hit save. And
Mm-hmm.
you see, this is about Gary Barnes,
mm-hmm.
right? And when I click regenerate here, it's going to go out to your LinkedIn. It's going to try to find you online, and it's going to write a bio for you.
Mm-hmm.
So give it a few seconds. And there it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in those 20 seconds, we came up with this basic bio for you. Make sense, Eric?
Yes, it does.
All right. So now when we click on podcast, automatically, we're giving you different podcasts that we think you would be a great guest on, right? But that's based on the branding kit here. So women's wellness, holistic living, women's health, wellness by itself, fitness, right? Just put those things in there, right? So now when I come back, and I click on podcast, now you see how it's updated. I didn't even search anything. It's the AI is automatically matching her to the right podcast, right? I can click on Women's Wellness with Abby. I can listen to it here to make sure that I would be a good fit. And if I want to go on it, all I do is click add to list and add it to a list. Once I click pitch, the system will look at that podcast, look at your bio that was written, and write a customized pitch for you to be a guest on that podcast. So give it 5 more seconds, and there it is. Hey, Abby, my passion for empowering women to navigate their holistic wellness journey aligns perfectly with the inspiring conversations you create on the Women's Wellness with Abby Fetter, right? So this is our outbound system. Does that make sense? Now, the reason why this is super duper 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 important is because if you haven't been on a lot of stages, you probably your topic probably hasn't been stress tested in public yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go on podcasts to get those stress test questions from the podcast interviewer and the comments of people writing. You say, hey, I heard you were great, right? Or if they put it on YouTube, they're going to be in the YouTube like, she don't know what she's talking about, right? But you take those comments with a grain of salt in order to get better. You use those podcasts as examples to get association speaking gigs. So let's say you haven't been on a bunch of stages speaking, but you want to talk at some local associations. So the same way that I just reached out to those, I click here, it's going to be matching me to different health associations that I can go and give my OBGYN talks at. Does that make sense? But you know what I'm going to include in there? I'm going to include, since I ain't been on a bunch of stages, but I know what I'm talking about, I'm going to include a couple links to the podcast that I've been on. So that now they can try me out. Right?
Okay.
Because you got to give the event planner insurance that they're not going to lose their job. And you know, you're not going to start your speech. What up, mother? They're like, hey, who told her to come here like that? Like that ain't the vibe, you know? So they need to be able to try you out to make sure that you're a real doctor and you're not Dr. Seuss, right? Because they got liability too with who they bring in. They're associating their credibility to you, right? So that's really, 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 really important.
That's good. That's really good
Makes
because
sense?
that was my concern. Well, when you're starting out, you don't have a sizzle reel, you don't have any of these insurance producing assets. But if you're able to get on podcasts that attach it to your pitches, it does provide that. So it just clicked.
Yep.
It just clicked because people want to start up here, but where's social proof?
Yeah,
so that makes
exactly.
a lot of sense.
Yep. So then when you go to do that association gig, let me tell you what you do. You take your phone and you put it on the tripod, or you take your niece or your nephew or your kids, if you got a kid, and you say, look, follow me around on the stage. Don't you turn it around and show us only 3 people in here. But you get me to do my talk up here, right? And then you go on Fiverr and you have someone, you look for video editors on Fiverr. And for $20, they can turn that into a speaker reel for you. And they'll combine photos from the event. You take photos of everybody. They'll combine photos from the event along with video with a little bit of you talking in the background for about a minute. And now you got a speaker reel. Does that make sense? And you keep doing that.
Makes a lot of sense.
So now when you go to pitch another association, you say, hey, I spoke at the Breast Cancer Association. I would love to come talk at the Lung Association. And you send them that speaker reel. Now you got 2. And then when you get like 5 of them, now you can send those out, put them on your SpeakerHub profile. Now when you pitch a conference, they see, okay, she spoke at this association. She spoke here. When I Google her, 15 podcasts came up. She legit. Let's interview her to see if it makes sense. Now, here's the mind of a meeting planner. They put out a call to speakers with an application. You think they really want to look through them 900 applications? If somebody qualified emails them that already got the goods, they ain't looking through them applications. They may tell their boss they read through them applications, I promise you they didn't. Because if someone who's qualified, like Ann McNeil, reaches out to them, they're going to Google her. They're going to see her background and her history as a speaker, and they're going to ask for an interview to see if it makes sense or to see if they can even afford to pay it, right? So that's what we call the speaker flywheel. We use small stages to get on big stages. It's a proactive approach. It's not a wait and see. I'm not waiting on somebody to come in and make me who I'm going to be. I'm going to be it. Everybody else is just in my life to help me to get there faster. And once you switch to that frame, everything in life changes. Right? Because you just see everyone as a partner. Ain't no competition. We partners. Somehow you're going to help me. Either you're going to push me or you're going to get out of the way. But even getting out of the way is helping me. You know? So that's the way we think about it. So that's
good. I have one quick question. That's really you pretty much answered all my questions I was jotting down here. Just one quick one. Thank you so much. With a website, when you're starting, what is the basic minimum?
Yep.
Like I have a website that I've been working on for a while.
Don't waste your time with that. Go to SpeakerHub and sign up for a free account.
Oh.
Sign up for a free account. It costs you nothing to get a free website from us, right? So this page here for Ashush Patel, he didn't pay us for this. He didn't even fill it out. He ungrateful. We gave him something for free. He didn't even use it. Right? But look at what Dr. Tanya did. She put her stuff in there. She even got some testimonials on the left side. Right? Now, watch this. Dr. Tanya Crombie, PhD. Let's look for her in here. We search for her. There's her LinkedIn, there's her Medium, her all of that stuff. Where's her website? Don't even show up. So people are gonna find you on LinkedIn or Medium or some other place. But if I type in speaker here, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the speaker one. Boom. They're probably gonna go to her LinkedIn or her SpeakerHub website. Because this is just a one sheet. It's a digital one sheet that serves as her website. She probably don't even have a website. I can't even find one. Do you see what I mean? So the purpose of a speaker's website is to tell them that you are good enough to be a speaker for them. So at the beginning, you just need a basic one sheet. Everybody knows how to use LinkedIn. That's why SpeakerHub is designed to look just like your LinkedIn profile. Because we're already familiar with what we need to look to find out about you. Is that fair?
That's fair. And then I'm sorry, last question, y'all.
No, this is helpful for everybody. This is what we do every day. So never apologize.
Yes, thank you. So when you're talking about what you speak on, right? Is it better to go ahead and present the actual title of a topic or just list the categories of topics? Does that make sense?
So yeah. So I'm a firm believer that you list categories because your job as a speaker is to be an accelerator of the motivations of the event or organization that's hiring you. Right? So a great example, Bart, you want to tell your story about how you wanted to talk about some military stuff, but they told you should talk about leadership?
Oh, so someone reached out to me, found me on my website, and the website, all it talks about is, all it shows is that I speak on the subject of situational awareness security to mitigate insider threat and active shooter attacks. But when I finally got on the phone with them, they wanted me to talk about leadership because I spent 29 and a half years in the Army, retired as a senior leader, and they wanted me to talk about that. Now, from a passionate standpoint, I really don't want to talk about that, but you got someone interested in you. They say this is what we want to pay you to do, so you have to shift to do that. So when we had our conversation, I was able to slip in my passion as well. But then months down the road before the actual event, I think one of our last few calls, they said, well, if you can talk about that too, that'd be okay. So I didn't get booked on what my website says and what I'm really passionate about. I got booked on what they wanted me to talk about. So I guess Ron's point is you have to be flexible. And you talked about several things that you speak about and you want to present about. You don't know which one they're going to reach out to you for. but you just have to be kind of locked and loaded for whatever they want.
Yep. So we always say you want to be an accelerator, not an innovator. You can do both, but you got to be an accelerator first, meaning I got to accelerate the mission of the person that's hiring me. And then if I can be innovative and show some of my creative stories and things like that, my frameworks within that acceleration of the mission of their event, cool. But I can't go in and say, I talk about this. Y'all don't want to talk about women with reverse fingernails that they paint green and black. Dude, we ain't looking for that. But if you want to come to a beauty conference and talk about how women can use green and black fingernails, cool. But don't be searching for green and black reverse fingernail. You get what I mean? We have these obscure topics that we want to talk about that don't nobody know about but us. So imagine if someone said, if I was a speaker and I said, well, I'm only looking for people that want to learn about the speaker flywheel. Like, we don't even know what that means. I don't even know what a flywheel is. This is stupid. But if I said, hey, I'm a firm believer that I can help your managers better communicate with their employees and everyone else in their lives, I would love to come and talk about how they can better share their messages with other people. Cool, we all need that because there's only 3 speeches that have ever been given in life. Only 3. You can teach someone how to improve a skill, you can teach them how to be a better leader, or you can teach them how to make or save money. Every speech you've ever heard fits into those 3 categories, right? So once you understand that, you really can speak at any conference if you're flexible enough to tune your topic to that conference. So I hear doctors all the time or therapists say, I work with women. And I'm like, so that topic don't work for men? Men don't have the same mental health issues? We do. But you block yourself from a lot of corporate gigs because they can't say this session is only for our female employees. With the way that people identify and all this crap nowadays, you just never know. So you got to keep your topic open. I help people to do this thing with mental illness or whatever, instead of I help, women that like to wear red jackets or something. It's you can be exclusive while trying to be inclusive, and that's a bad thing, right? So you got to keep it broad so that they can imagine how you fit versus someone coming in and could come across as offensive in some ways. Make sense? Dr. Ann,
Thank you.
Ann McNeil, how are you? The lady in red. She wears red every day for the last 6 months that I've known her.
Ron, Ann had to hop off right at noon, but she put a message in our ambassadors chat that she was having trouble. She found herself logged out of her account and needs help regaining access. She said Nakia is hopping on for her. Oh, there's Ann. Hey, hi, Ann.
I'm sorry, I'm at the Zoom, but I did want to make sure that I can go ahead and start. Let me say this. I'm leaving on the 7th for a 6-month cruise. My goal is to have 100 podcasts set before I go. And so I have 3 people that's going to be working with me. So Nakia is going to get the username and password. We're going to go through all of the videos, everything that's been in the conversations, in the thread, and I'm getting with Lethea to get my headshot and all those things set and done before I leave. So my goal is to have 100 podcasts set before I leave on the 7th.
Okay, yeah. So
all right.
send her to this meeting. We do this meeting every day. The only day we won't be here this week is on Thursday, but we will be here Friday. We will be here Wednesday. We'll be here the next Monday. So,
now, Ron, where can we access the recordings?
I'll send you the link.
Okay, perfect.
Has that.
Perfect. We're good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll put it in the chat.
Hold
You're
on.
welcome.
Yep. So, any other questions? Was that helpful, Dr. Faith? Right. So that's what we do. Bart, what's your question? What's up?
Yeah.
Question, comment?
Perhaps I haven't paid attention to the one sheet created by SpeakerHub, but that's generated. Is that automatic? Is it based on information we put on our? Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is, let me see if you have a page, Bart, because Bart is one of our lifetime account members, and he purchased the Black Friday deal before Black Friday. There you go, right here. Right. So what we need to do, we need to upgrade you to gold. So I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade you to gold so you can put all your videos and all of that stuff in. Make sense? Bart, but you have one. Do you need to know your login and stuff like that? Or do you already remember it?
Well, I'm not gonna say I remember it.
Okay, I'll tell you what it is. I'll help you. Yep. So I'm just waiting on this page to load. For some reason, it's not behaving the way I want it to. Let's see. But yeah, Eric, what's your question while I'm working on this?
Yes. First of all, I didn't want to forget to tell Dr. Faith when she was talking about the name she should use. My sister, as Ron knows, her name is Dr. Ola. She's a medical doctor too, and her business exploded when she just said Ola. Because we have a Nigerian name, long name, nobody remembered her, right? But when it's simple, then people will remember you. They can refer you. I just keep it simple, Dr. Faith, and everybody will remember.
There it is. There it is. See, this is why we do these calls, because usually there's somebody who's been through a similar experience, and yeah. You know,
and also, this is such a small world. I've seen Bart before. I've had a one-to-one with Jadika, right? We met, we had a great conversation. I met Ann like a month ago at the conference. It's like a small world, I'm telling you.
That's it.
Good to see you.
Yeah, no, man. Well, you know what that means? That means you're in the right place.
Yeah,
right? That's what that means. I'm gonna take credit and say you in the right place.
Take credit, my brother, because I met you at the same conference I met Ann. So yeah, take credit. And you walked up to me, you just walked up to me and started talking.
Oh yeah, because I saw y'all was doing something cool, and there wasn't that many other African Americans with booths, so I wanted to make sure that I at least knew and could support what you all were doing.
Appreciate you.
So let's see, Bart Womack. So Bart, I'm working on I'm updating your profile right now to gold. That way you'll be able to put up some of your speaker videos, all of those different things. That was included in your Black Friday deal. So that's one of the cool things. We do have a Black Friday deal where you'll be able to get lifetime access to SpeakerHub and SpeakerHub Pro. You can pay once and have access forever. We even provide financing for it. So if you're like, oh man, that's too much, I can't pay that right now, we let you spread it out over time. Because our job, again, is to remove the excuses. We don't want to hear no excuse why the world don't get to hear from you. So I'm a firm believer we got to be the leaders we needed when we were in a position, and we try to live by that. So Bart, when you go to your page in about 2 seconds, if you hit refresh, I'm going to show you, and you're going to see you have this new gold sticker. It's a green sticker. It's called gold, but the actual thing is actually green. And your profile is ready. Let me tell you what email address. The email address that you're using is bartwomack29@gmail. Right? And so we just added your gold sticker. You see that? Now it says gold, which means you can upload unlimited photos, unlimited videos, unlimited topics, everything. You see these other ones popped up now. Before it was just showing one, but I'll walk through you, or I'll have Raquel walk through how you can upload them better, because for some reason they're not popping up. These images don't appear to be loading anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Great. That's awesome.
Yep. No, you're all ready to go, man. Any other questions for me? I got 3 minutes because I have a 1:15 and we're going to need this room, but we're 10 minutes in the overtime. Again, guys, we do this every single day. You're free to come in, ask any questions, whether you're a SpeakerHub customer or not. Faith, at worst, you should get one of our free pages, right? At worst, that saves you the time and need to go build a website for your speaking business and having to do all of that maintenance and stuff like that.
Yeah, I met you with through Israel's program, so I remember your presentation.
Perfect. Oh, there you go. Did you? I think we gave you like 3 months of SpeakerHub Pro.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, use that.
We're good. I'm good.
Oh, yeah, you're already good then. So just, log in and get going.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, cool. If y'all don't have any other questions, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. That's what Russell says.